How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
This message is brought to you by Abercrombie Kids, where the activewear is made for every summer activity, so your mini-me can bring their personal best. Summer days are always an adventure, from day camp to rec leagues and pool days. Abercrombie Kids has the shorts, tees, and swim to keep them comfy and keep up with them. Get everything for the entire summer at Abercrombie Kids. Shop in-store, online, or in the app.
This is the plaintiff, Virginia Augusto. She says she and the defendant were in a relationship for almost 6 years, and he owes her money, which he refuses to pay. Now that they've broken up, the defendant has changed his phone number. She is tired of being ignored by him and is suing him here and now for the $2,700 she's owed. This is the defendant, Ruben Torres. He says he was the plaintiff's ATM machine and also her maid and butler, and he decided he needed to end things. He paid for everything while they were together, never borrowed any money or took any loan from her, and that's why he's not paying her. He's accused of leaving a lady friend high and dry.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Virginia Augusto, you are suing Ruben Torres, your former boyfriend, for $2,700 in a loan that you say he owes and hasn't paid.
Correct.
Tell me about it.
Okay. Back on 2011-12, I borrowed $33,000 for Ruben.
How much?
It was $3,000 originally, which $300 I already paid my brother.
Okay.
I took this loan because his nephew was in trouble. He went to jail and he needed bail money. It was new in our relationship. We were probably together about a year and a half within the relationship. Well, you know, it was kind of a desperate situation because he is a father of 3. And at that time I figured, you know, they needed my help. So I went forward and I lent Ruben Torres the money to help his nephew get out of jail.
Okay.
My brother said, okay, because the agreement was that his nephew will give installments to Ruben as he went along because he's on disability, so he couldn't pay the whole thing.
Who,
so
the nephew's on disability?
His nephew. His nephew has a disability.
Okay.
He really doesn't have an income. So the agreement was that he will give us installments a month, give him installments a month to pay. So it's my brother that once he got the full amount, he will pay us. Well, he will pay me. Ruben will pay me.
Okay, but you didn't loan Ruben the money. Your brother did, right?
No, I lent him the money. I lent
Right,
Ruben.
but your brother is the one who came up with the money.
Yeah, he gave it to me.
Right, so it was your brother's money.
Yes, it was my brother's money.
Go
I
on.
apologize.
No, that's all right. I'm just trying to get it straight.
Sorry, I'm just a little nervous, okay? As time went on, my brother said, okay, I'm going to give you a year to 2 to pay it because he figured, you know, because of his income.
Because of whose income?
Because of the money that the young man had to pay us, had to pay Ruben back. We knew that he couldn't pay the whole thing at once.
Okay.
So he gave us the benefit of the doubt. He said, okay, I'll give you to 2 years. He gave us 2014 to pay this. Well, as 2014 came along, I noticed that there was still no money saved up. So the conversation started to arise. You know, Ruben, when are we going to start putting money on the side because you have to pay my brother? It's about that time. Well, 2015 came along. It was already December, and I was already telling Ruben, it's already 2015. You know, my brother needs his money. You know, it's not fair that we...
What's your brother saying while this is going on?
Well, my brother's reasoning with me because he figured that, you know, I have it under control and because...
I don't know what that means. If the money was owed he gave 2 years for this money to get paid back, and the money wasn't paid in 2014, what have you got under control?
Because I would tell him that Ruben didn't have the money and that Ruben needed extra time for the money.
Ruben's not the one who's paying back the money. It's the nephew who's paying back the money.
No. The nephew already paid Ruben the money.
Oh.
He's already been paid. Ruben had the money. Ruben used the money for whatever reason he used the money for.
Well, you were with
While we
Ruben
were
at the
together,
time. What did you
exactly.
guys use the money for?
I didn't use the money or nothing. I was unaware that he was using this money.
How long did you date him?
5.5 years. We
Oh,
started
okay.
on June 30th, 2010.
So you date him another 2 years past the payment time, and then what happens?
And then what happens is the relationship started going downhill. Ruben started to change on me. I noticed that he wasn't saving money the way he used to. You know, we were very, we were a type of couple that we will go on vacation once a year. Like we would try to go out and do things at least twice a month. You know, we had that type of relationship, try to have a joyful relationship. But I noticed that really, I'm gonna say like May of last year, Ruben started to change. Ruben started to step out more often. He wasn't coming home at a reasonable time. He was constantly fighting with me. It was always a money issue, which was never a money issue because I paid all my bills, Your Honor. And it's just a coincidence. That's on the 17th, I threw him out my home. On the 6th,
Why you threw him out? Why?
because he was
Did you
being
think he was
verbally-
cheating on you?
He was cheating on me.
You found out he was cheating on you?
No, not yet.
I wouldn't.
I didn't find out yet, but the way he was speaking to me and the times he was coming home drunk, that's not like Ruben Torres. I met a Christian man, a man that we had a great relationship. Whatever happened during that period of time, I'm lost to this day. But it just turned out that he became a person that I did not know.
Were you living together?
Yes, we were.
How long had you been living together?
5 years.
And
5 years and 2 months. He moved in 4
Whose name was the
months.
lease under?
I'm sorry?
Whose name was the lease under?
My name, Virginia
Who was
Agosto.
paying the rent?
Me.
Was he paying you part of the rent?
No, he wasn't. He was only giving me $200 to $300 every 2 weeks, if that.
So did he leave you? Did he leave you, or did you?
I threw him out
You
on the 17th.
threw him out because you felt he was cheating on you.
He was cheating on me, and because
All right.
of the way he was speaking to me and
When
his
did you
actions.
find out and how that he was cheating on you?
Well, I got a text. I was sitting in the couch with my daughter. He left that Sunday, I think it was that Tuesday or Wednesday. I have the text here, Your Honor. He had somebody text me. I got a text.
You got a text from who?
A young lady.
And?
He's telling me that he's a man, saying that to leave her man alone, this is her future husband, whatever money I owe my brother to pay it myself.
Okay, let me see that. What's going on? Let me hear your side of this.
Your Honor, part of it's true what you're saying, part of it's not. When I first started her, everything was good. After that, I don't know what happened. When she used to go on vacation, on her birthday, I used to pay for everything, like a man's supposed to do. About being abusive, never. I treat her like a queen. I treat her with respect. I treat her like a man's supposed to treat a woman. So all that she's saying, a lot of lies.
Well, talk to me about this $2,700.
$2,700? Okay, the way she was saying it is not the correct way she was saying it.
Okay.
She loaned him the money. All right, she was in my house, so he fell in jail. It's not my nephew. It's my niece's husband.
Okay.
He fell in jail. She felt sorry. She went and got the money and everything. She won't.
Whose idea was it to get the money?
It was her idea, not my idea.
Did you ask her for it?
No, never did.
All right.
Never did, Your Honor.
But then the nephew paid you back?
Yeah, he paid me back. I gave her the money. She took out $300 out of there, which it was $2,700. After that, I don't know what she did with the money. Now she's trying to blame me for using the money or getting drunk. She's the one who always had, every time she used to, on Friday and Saturday, Your Honor, she always had a little event going on with her so-called sisters and friends every Friday and Saturday. She's the one who come in drunk, not me.
Really?
And at the beginning, she used to give me my respect. She used to come at a certain time. After that, it wasn't no more respect.
What time? I'm just curious because I'm trying. I want to see if I can tuck my husband into me going out every Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah,
what
please.
time is the respectful time? When you're going to go out every Friday and Saturday night? What time is the respectful time versus the
due to
disrespectful
the fact
time?
I'm not married to you.
Okay, but what's? I'm just curious.
Yeah,
what
like
is
maybe like
respectful?
1 or 2 o'clock.
1 or 2 is respectful.
Yeah.
What's the disrespectful time?
Like 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, okay. Just
Even though I'm not
curious.
married to you, I understand,
Just
Your Honor.
kind of curious. Would you get away with that? No,
Okay,
he
Your
doesn't
Honor?
say a word.
Yes.
Not a word.
All right, Your Honor, that was the fact.
That's the way I got
How
told.
do I know that it's the way you say and not the way he says?
Because I have an audio.
Yeah,
and
but
him
audio.
admitting it.
All right.
That he owes the money, Your Honor. And at the end of the day, how could he sit here and lie and say he even admitted it to one of my witnesses?
Let's see. Hold on.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. How long do you wait before a boyfriend lends a girlfriend money or vice versa?
Probably a year.
A year?
Yeah.
Because?
I just wouldn't want to loan someone money unless I knew it was serious.
Fair enough.
Probably also a year. I'd have to wait until I totally trusted the person.
Okay, let's go to a guy who's clearly going to loan it, wants the money after like 2 days.
Oh, no.
How long?
I'm going to say about a year as well.
Really?
Yeah, just because You got to trust the person that you're lending the money to.
What if you need the money? How long do you have to wait?
2 days.
Going inside the courtroom.
When I say when you owe me $2,700, he says, I'm gonna pay him that money. I'm gonna pay him that money. And there's a second audio too.
Let me tell you something. Like that shouldn't even come out your mouth.
No, you say the truth.
No, the thing is, I'm just saying.
I'm gonna give it to him anyway.
I'm gonna give it to him anyway.
The point is this.
Yo, listen, can you listen to what I'm saying? You want to talk over people, bro. Won't you
Watch your mouth.
What you hear? You just want to just talk.
Your mouth.
The audio after that is more specification.
Okay, so
it says specifically $2,700 on the other audio as well.
I hear the phrase, I think you're saying that he's saying, I'm going to give it to him anyway.
Yes, that was him telling me that. And then there's another audio.
Is that you saying I'm going to give it to him anyway?
Your Honor, that didn't even sound like my voice.
Oh, that's your voice. Are you kidding?
Wow.
That didn't even sound like my voice.
Wow.
Who else does she argue with like that?
Wow.
Were you taping him surreptitiously?
Yeah, I was telling him
You
I'd be
happen to be in a
recording.
state that has one-party consent, so you're able to surreptitiously tape somebody. There are states where this would be a felony.
And this one shows that
Stop
I am
talking.
recording it too. I say
And what
that
I
at the
want you
end
to
of
do is
the-
raise your hand when you think
Okay.
that something is, because some of this I can't understand,
Your
so.
Honor.
$2,700 plus the difference of my bag. That's what you owe me, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna pay for it.
Right? And you owe me
Yeah.
the sofas, and you owe me the rest of the thing.
For when?
Up to when?
I gotta pay your brother the money.
Paid it already.
You were supposed to pay last year.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're going.
Wow. Yikes.
It was an error, I know. It was
What was an error? You're taping him
Went terrible.
surreptitiously. You're the one who knows the tape is going, and that's how you talk and scream for evidence for court? Like, I can't even
See, I didn't even
imagine what
think-
it's like when you're on good behavior. However, I do hear you saying stuff about the 2,700, but I don't get why you are the person. I know you're mad that he was stepping out, but were you stepping out?
No, I was next door while she was going out in her little events.
Okay.
I was next door. He used to make
Okay,
movies
who's
for me.
this text from?
Excuse me?
Who's the text from? You're 40 plus. Please grow up and leave him alone. He is an open book with me, mamita. He paid the timeshare beyond, so that money you say your brother needs, be ghost, pay your brother back, and leave my man alone already. Who's that from?
My fiance.
But what fiance?
Look
So
at
it's
that.
a
We only been
fiance.
separated not even 2 months.
Not even how many months?
Not even 2 months, Your Honor.
Not even 2 months, and you have a
Yes,
fiance?
she wasn't
No,
doing that.
You said he
talk
was
to me.
cheating on
Talk
me
to me.
already.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop. The way, you know what the answer is that she gave it? The way you got him is the same way you're going to lose him. But thank you for taking away my stress and my leftovers.
Amen.
Yeah. Well,
Amen.
she was that too.
Thank you, Jesus. Look, I even lost weight and I feel so good.
She was that too.
Oh, Lord, I feel wonderful.
You guys are.
I go to the gym too. and I
What
look good
right
too.
do you have to sue for your brother's money?
Huh?
Exactly what I said. What right do you have? In court, there's something called standing. That means a person who comes to bring a court case can't just be the person who hates the defendant the most. It has to be the person who has a right to what is being sued for. So what right do you have to sue for your brother's money?
Okay, the right is that it was given, my brother lent me the money. As being his little sister, he's always looked out for me since
Then you have to pay your brother.
Yes. And I
You
have my
didn't
brother here.
Yeah, the fact that your brother hands you the money, I mean, at all times it was very obvious that it's your brother who was loaning the money and that your brother who had to be paid and you got to pay my brother is all over your tapes. It's your brother who has to sue. You don't have standing to sue. So you can't win this case against him, because you don't have standing to sue.
But it was given
to me. It's your brother who has to sue.
My brother's here.
That's great. Your brother has to file a lawsuit. It's not you who gets to sue. I know you're the one who hates him and wants to come to court and is angry and everything else, but that doesn't give you standing legally. My hands are tied. It's your brother who has to file a lawsuit. My verdict is for the defendant, and your brothers can still file the lawsuit. And these are the tapes that'll prove it.
George, you ready?
So the defendant prevails in this case. What a relationship you had with that guy. How about that? How did you feel hearing all that testimony?
It was horrible, full of lies. He knows what he owes, and that's all right. I guess we'll come back.
All right, listen, you didn't have the right to win. Let me ask you a question, sir. Are you going to file a lawsuit against him now?
Yes. Yeah. Yes,
You
I
are.
will. Yeah.
You understand that? That's the only way you'll get your money back.
I heard the judge's order.
But in court, by the way, through
I heard
court.
the judge's order, yeah.
All right, well, boy, what an experience.
It sure was.
You got a mouth.
I sure do.
Yes, you do.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Now here comes the defendant, Mr. Torres.
Yes.
I guess you're lucky here because she really didn't have the right to sue. So do you think you owe the brother money?
I don't owe her nothing. She just take out of Bob's money, the money I put for Bob for the furniture when I'm going to use.
All right.
She could do that.
You miss her?
No, I don't.
Not at all?
Not at all.
And you have a fiance now?
Yes, I do. Thank
After
God.
2 months?
Beautiful woman.
You're quick.
More woman than her.
You're quick. All right, don't tear her down that many more. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Harvey, what do you think?
Okay, I'm going to teach you a legal term. This is called privity of contract, which means that you have to be a party to the contract to sue. Now we'll do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track, and ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
Switch to Verizon Business and get more from your internet without paying more for your internet. Get LTE Business Internet starting at $39 a month when paired with select business mobile plans. That's unlimited data, and with it, unlimited possibilities. Start saving today with Verizon Business, ranked #1 in small business internet customer satisfaction by J.D. Power. Starting price for 25 megabits per second LTE internet plan with smartphone plan savings, plus taxes, fees, and economic adjustment charge. Terms apply. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
This is the plaintiff, Joseph Matthew Montez. He says the unscrupulous defendant illegally towed his car, scratched his bumper, and charged him an outrageous amount for the tow to boot. He was parked legally. The defendant's running some sort of tow scam, and he's here suing for the $852 he's owed. This is the defendant, Lou Arias. He says the plaintiff's car was very illegally parked, and if you park illegally in his territory, he's gonna tow you. That's right, you do something wrong in his end of town, and you have to pay him for your sins because he's gonna get you. As far as scratching the plaintiff's bumper, hogwash. He's accused of scamming a parker.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant illegally towed his car, but the defendant says the plaintiff broke the law. So tough. It's the case of sore toe.
Thank you, Douglas. Joseph Matthew Montes. Yes. You are suing L&L Towing, represented here by its chief executive, Lou Arias, for $852, the cost of a tow that you want reimbursed, which you say was illegal, and an estimate for bumper repair because, according to you, they damaged your bumper.
Correct.
Okay. Why do you have the dog?
This is my service animal.
What kind of animal is it?
That's an American Staffordshire Terrier, ma'am.
Is your dog well behaved?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Very well.
Let me hear from you, Mr. Montes. What happened?
Yes. On the 23rd of December, this was about 11 p.m., I went back to get to my vehicle. It was parked in a parking structure where my friend lives, and I noticed that the tow truck, this gentleman's tow truck, was parked perpendicular behind my car, so it wasn't attached to my car. My car was just there. So my friend had notified me that they might tow my car that evening. So that's why I rushed down there.
How did your friend notify you that they might tow your car that evening?
Well, she had gotten a phone call from her roommate, who lives in the building as well, in the condo complex, and she said, "Hey, Joseph needs to move his car."
Why was your car there?
My car was parked there because I had purchased a Jeep, and I had nobody to assist me as far as moving the two cars around because I purchased it in Long Beach, as where the complex is. So I left my car there because I always leave.
How long had you left your car there?
It was less than a day. So I left it there probably around 6 p.m. and I went back there at about 10 p.m. to pick it up.
When did you get the phone call saying your car's going to get towed if you don't get it out of here?
She called me probably.
So you purchased the car that day, the Jeep that day?
Yeah, I did.
May I see the bill of sale for the Jeep?
I don't have the bill of sale for the Jeep.
So you can't prove to me that you purchased the car that day. See, because they're saying that your car was there a lot longer than that, right? How long, according to the Homeowners Association, was the car there?
The vehicle was spotted on 12/22.
Okay, 12/22, and on the day of the tow was what?
That was 12/23.
Okay, go on.
So basically, I saw the tow truck there, so I went to go move my car. I had my key. I parked the Jeep in the street, and I had my key. And there's two gates to get inside this private complex. I had my key to move my car out of the parking lot, and the gates close, and you have to have a gate opener to open both gates on either side. So I immediately saw the tow truck, so I started, knocking on the gate, saying, "Hey, I'm here to move my car. That's my car. I'm the owner. I have my key right here," and They both ignored me. Both.
Was he one of the people?
Yeah, he was inside the tow truck at the time. But the homeowner association gentleman, he was ignoring me. And he said, "Oh, it's too late. You can't move your car." And I said, "Well, I'm here to move my car. There's no point to tow it when I'm here to move my car." And I knew it was unlawful to do so.
How is it unlawful to do so?
Well, it's because it's, I have here, it says in California that a towing company that removes the vehicle, well, here, let me just, upon the request.
Hand me what you're looking at.
Sure.
So go on.
They're not opening the gate until finally another car that was coming into the garage did. So I ran in after the car to go move my car. And at that point, you know, I started getting in a little bit of argument with the homeowner saying, "Hey, I got to move my car." So he didn't want to do that. He said, "No, it's too late for that." So bottom line is he started hitching it. I even got inside my car, and he, with me inside the car, started pulling us. Yes, this is the defendant. Started pulling us out of the structure. So we were still on private property when the car was hitched and when I was inside the car. He pulled me with the car because I was sitting in my car. As a result of me trying to get my car out.
Wait. You jumped into the car as it was moving?
It wasn't moving yet. It was still.
So it was hooked up.
And I got.
What kind of tow was this? The one where the car's like this?
It's a wheel lift tow.
Okay. And so you jump into the car to stop them from taking it. And what happens?
And he keeps going.
He keeps going.
Yes.
Is your door open or closed?
My door was closed, but I didn't open it because I wanted to, I started getting a little nervous.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Well, you're both crazy.
Yeah. So bottom line is I ended up jumping out of my car because it became too dangerous. And
but jumping out of the car was less dangerous. How fast was the car going when you jumped out of it?
Well, I mean, he was taking the turn pretty quickly. And we're going down the street, and then he just starts taking out. I jump in my Jeep at that point.
Wait, how do you jump in your Jeep?
Well, I get out of the car. After I jumped out of the car, I jumped into my Jeep.
How close was your Jeep what is this, like a James Bond movie?
Yeah.
How close was your Jeep?
It was right outside the structure. And then I started following him, and then he started driving with my door open, and then obviously
the door that you had left open when you jumped out.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And I just hear the car. It's just constantly getting scraped on the concrete. The streets over there.
Wait, how is the car getting scraped on the concrete?
Well, first of all,
what part of the car?
The bumper, and that's why with the pictures I submitted show that.
Show me the pictures in court, please.
Sure.
So let me hear from you because I can't wait to hear from you. What happened here?
Well, on the 12/23.
No, do you have real pictures? I can't look at anything on a black and white
I have
photocopy. If you have them in your phone, I'd rather see them in your phone than this. This is not useful.
I do.
Go ahead.
Yeah, on 12/23 at approximately 9:30, we got a call out from the Homeowners Association president, and he wanted me to come out and remove a vehicle that had been parked there since yesterday, he told me. So I went down there. When I got there, he was there. He signed off on it. Got my camera out, snapped some pictures of the vehicle because there's some damage on the front end of the vehicle.
And do you have those pictures?
I don't have them, ma'am.
Why not?
Pictures went corrupt in my phone.
What does went corrupt mean?
It means you can't view them.
So what do you view instead of them?
Absolutely nothing.
So you hook up the car and what happens?
I try to leave with the vehicle.
By the time he gets onto the property because he follows another car into the private property, are you hooked up or not hooked up?
I'm hooked up to it.
Okay, and then what does he do? What happens?
He tries to negotiate a drop of the vehicle.
Meaning that instead of you towing it all the way to your tow yard, that he gives you some money and then you just put the car down there?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But apparently there was a problem. The registration wasn't current on the vehicle, and I have no way of knowing if it was his car or not. And by law, I can't release the vehicle.
But your registration wasn't current?
The registration, no, there wasn't. I had an appointment with the DMV the following week to go take care of everything.
So you couldn't. So how long did you guys spend discussing that?
That vehicle shouldn't have been on the road anyway.
It wasn't on the road. It was parked in the parking.
For a day, right?
For the day.
Wasn't that what you said? Like for 4 hours. So before that, it had been on the road, right? Which is it? All right. So he didn't have a valid registration for the car.
That's correct.
How long did that discussion take place?
Just a couple seconds. Didn't take very long.
Okay.
I told him I was going to take the vehicle. I told him I was taking it. He told me I wasn't. And
then everybody had to play King Mas Macho and risk life and limb. When he jumps into the car, What are you doing driving?
I'm driving
with this
away
guy?
when he did that.
I understand you're
I
very
didn't.
macho. You're very. That's. I get it. Okay, but I'm trying to understand when men stop, men and women, frankly, stop doing that. When somebody says, okay, this guy's going to kill himself. He's going to jump out. A car's going to run him over, and I'm going to have liability, if not guilt. So when do you? How far were you going to go? You were just going to tow the car with the door open for how long?
Well, he was inside the vehicle.
Was the door closed or open when you were towing it?
The vehicle's door was closed.
When he gets inside, he closes the door.
He got inside, closed it. I didn't know he'd gotten inside and closed it till he hit the brakes on me.
Then you realize he's in
Then I
there.
realized there's somebody in there.
But you don't stop. You keep driving.
But I just kept on going, yeah.
Yeah. How long did you keep on going?
I went probably a block down the street.
And according to you, you get to the yard and what do?
Well, the next morning, I went there. I went to the DMV about 8 in the morning, and then I was at the tow yard by 9.
Okay, and you got the registration.
Everything was taken care of, yes.
And then you go to the tow yard and what?
He charged me an enormous amount of money. One was for the day's storage fee, as well as hookup fee, as well as harassing the driver fee.
Where's the harassing the driver fee?
At the bottom of the paper, it says attempted to obstruct lawful removal, and it says an additional $80. Or excuse me, I don't even know how he did it, but it went from $240 to $417.
Attempted to obstruct the lawful removal of said vehicle, hence the additional hook charges prorated from $160 an hour. How much did you charge him for annoying you?
I didn't charge him anything for annoying me.
How much extra did you charge him?
$60.
$60.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that represented what?
$2 a minute for a half hour.
I asked you how long that argument took, and you said 2 minutes. All right, so then you pay the $417, but you're suing for an additional $435. Mm-hmm. According to you, your bumper damage is about $700.
Yes, and I have the estimate.
Okay, so why are you suing for $435?
What I I took the estimate it cost to fix my bumper, and I knew that that he wouldn't pay. That it's kind of because it would have been what $798 plus the $417. So I just divided that pretty much in half.
Really? You watch him busting your bumper up, okay? And it's all his fault, but you're just trying to be a nice guy and you're only suing for half because you figure he's not going to want to pay you the whole thing.
I felt lucky.
Because it's kind of sounding like you had bumper damage beforehand now.
Well, no, it's honestly, it's because my insurance deductible would have been $500 if I went through my insurance.
And yet you're not suing for $500.
No.
You're suing for half of it because you just want to be a nice guy. That's it. Not because you never saw the thing hit. Okay. Fascinating. Court's in recess.
All rise. So, if somebody hooks your car up, can you stop the tow by paying them?
Oh yeah. Depends how desperate you are, depends how much they want.
So you think this is negotiating where you hold them up, where they hold you up?
I think you should be able to, because, I mean, if you pay, then...
Well, they want to take it to the tow yard. Can you stop it from being taken to the tow yard? You have a right to by saying, I'll just pay the fee.
Do you have a right to? I don't know, but everybody has a price, right?
So you have to negotiate with the guy.
Yeah, with the guy.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
He just made you angry. The guy jumped in. The guy made it risky for you. You're a nut. You're a nut. You're both nuts. You're both crazy. I mean, seriously, your insurance carriers should both hear about your conduct, so your rates can skyrocket because you're both a risk. You're lying about several things. Okay, let's come out with it. Number one, your darn bumper was damaged beforehand. I know it was damaged beforehand. He's taking pictures of it. He got unlucky, and the pictures didn't come out. But number two, I know that the bumper was damaged beforehand and that you're a liar because you're only suing for half of it because you're a nice guy. Really? Because I've been in court a long time, and that's not how it works with normal human behavior, okay? Number three, you're telling me are you a lawyer?
No.
Okay, so you're yelling at the guy, the law doesn't let you do this. No, you read up on what the law says and doesn't say, and there are some concerns that he has, about, hey, I got there, so you're supposed to just let it go. And then your law says that you're supposed to let it go for half of the fee. But then you're right about, well, you haven't said that, but that's what it says. But you have a problem that you want everybody to ignore, which is you don't have proper registration on the vehicle. Now, I'm torn between saying, everybody here knows it's your car, you're freaking out, you got the key in your hand, you're jumping up and down, you're banging Elaine, like the graduate, you're getting it, everybody knows you really want that car, but is really wanting that car and seeming to be very concerned, proof of ownership. It's unfortunate for you that you did not have it registered. So I don't see why you shouldn't have to pay for a full tow when you were improperly parked there, just like the rest of us mere mortals have to do. And I also do not see why anybody would pay for a bumper that was already damaged. Now, I believe that you were overcharged on the tow, and I'm going to order him to return $92 to you. Verdict for the plaintiff.
So the plaintiff prevails only to the tune of $92. Mr. Arias, the defendant's come out of the court. You're in a dangerous business, I think. Do you think so?
Yes, sir, we are.
You are. Well, I'm interested to know what happened when you're driving away, he's in the car, and he put on the brakes.
I had to hit my brakes quickly because it could have threw the car off the back of the truck.
Yeah, it could have been really serious.
It could have been ugly.
All right. Well, do you think you're crazy?
No.
The judge does. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. Appreciate it.
All right. You have a good one.
Okie doke. Now, Mr. Montez, you only got $92. The judge didn't believe you. Just plain didn't believe you.
Well,
what do you think?
If this was in California, I would have gotten the entire amount. I believe I'm not a liar. What happened was my bumper, I just considered the fact that in court, it's really almost impossible to get everything that you want. So I was trying to be fair.
You couldn't pull the wool over the judge's eyes. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate.
Sorry about that. You must sign some documents before you leave. Harvey?
Okay, Doug, here's the thing. The laws vary from state to state. There are a lot of states where you do have the right to actually stop the tow, but even if you don't have that right, you can always negotiate. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
This is the plaintiff, Stephanie Recchiopo. She says she purchased granite from the defendant and had him install it in her kitchen as a countertop. Over time, the granite started turning black. She purchased gray, wants gray, and the defendant won't remedy the situation. He obviously sold her some sort of fake granite. It's defective, and she wants the $3,000 she paid this crook returned. This is the defendant, John McMorrow. He says he's been in business for over 30 years and has never seen something like this. Almost 3 years ago, he sells the plaintiff a granite countertop, and when he asked her the last time she sealed it, she looked at him with a puzzled look. Granite is supposed to be sealed every 6 months, and it only takes 5 minutes to do. He's sorry, but the plaintiff's lack of proper maintenance is the true cause of the plaintiff's granite stains. He's accused of staining a customer relationship.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff bought granite from the defendant, but it turned from gray to black. The defendant says she screwed up by not sealing it. It's the case of you didn't seal the deal.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, how do I pronounce your last name?
Recchiopo.
Recchiopo. Ms. Recchiopo, you are suing JCM Granite, represented here by Mr. McMorrow?
Yes.
Okay, you're the owner?
Yes.
For $3,000 that you say you are out as a result of them selling you faulty granite?
Yes.
What happened here?
I bought it. It was installed. It was beautiful.
How long ago?
It'll be 3 years September, I believe.
Okay.
And over time, I noticed that I thought it was getting darker in spots. So after, I took everything off the counters, and it was. So I called, and I spoke to his wife, Cindy, and I told her, and she goes,
When you say I took everything off the counter...
Well, like the coffee maker and the toaster oven, and all that was light gray, and in front of it was all black.
So, in other words, when you have been cleaning the counters, you hadn't lifted up those appliances?
Well, I did at times, but not as much as you would wipe, from normal use.
Right.
So I called Cindy. She said, can I send her some pictures, because she wasn't quite sure what I was talking about. So I sent her the pictures.
Do you have them here?
Yes.
May I see them?
I sent her the pictures, and then she called me back and said she sees what I'm talking about. If
if I could hold off, of her sending someone over to look at them because they were very busy over the Christmas holidays. So I agreed. Then in January, I called back and I said, I'm still waiting. It's after the holidays. And finally, after a few more calls, her husband, John, came and spoke to my husband. Mm-hmm. And he told him basically that I should take mineral oil to make it all black.
Make it all black?
Yeah, to make it all even, the color.
Oh, to even out the color so that the lighter, where appliances had been, looked more than like the darker.
Right, so I called his wife back and I told her that wasn't acceptable. I didn't want black granite, I wanted my light gray.
Well, you keep saying black, but it's not black.
Well,
it's just,
no, it's not black, but it's
this darker, what is this granite called?
That's, I have a piece of it here in the bag. Caledonia.
Okay.
It's a brownish gray
I
stone.
had this in my kitchen for 10 years. I just couldn't remember what it was called. But so you didn't want it the darker. You wanted to make the dark the lighter.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then she proceeded to tell me that, they tell all their customers that they have to seal it. And I said, excuse me, you never told me that.
All right, what's going on?
When they called up, it was around the holidays. We made an appointment to come in after the holidays, so sometime in January. I'm not sure what date it was. When I showed up at her house, I asked, she wasn't home, but I asked her husband, when was the last time you sealed the tops? And he says, we never sealed the tops. I said, because you didn't seal the tops, where they rubbed the counters, where the appliances were, they never really rubbed that, so that sealer.
When you say rub, what do you mean?
Well, when they're wiping off the counter,
okay.
Yes, when they're cleaning the counters off, they're only cleaning in the fronts. They're not really cleaning where the appliances are. So wherever the appliances were, everything is fine there. So they eventually wore off what sealer we put on there to begin with.
What were you pointing to right now?
I have different sealers that they could have used. I have a sample of her stone, and what I actually did was sealed half of a stone and left the other half unsealed.
Let me see the half sealed, half unsealed. And what can be done about her issue now?
Well, when they originally called me about it, I went out there to look at it because I wasn't sure what was going on. So I wanted to see it myself because she's telling me the stone has changed color from one side to the other.
Oh, this is with no seal.
Yeah.
And this is with seal.
No. They're both. If they're both in the front are sealed. It's just showing that I sealed half of it didn't. So it actually looks.
I'm sorry. Wait. What am I looking at? Because this looks all exactly uniform.
Exactly. So when you seal it, it will look the same, but if we pour water on it, you'll see one side will soak in the water and the other side won't.
Oh, so you want me to do an experiment? Hold on.
So do you have a duty to actually seal stuff or do you have a right to assume that the color won't change?
I think you'd be foolish to assume the color won't change. You have to take care of the things you own.
So you actually have to take additional steps to preserve it?
I think you do.
Fair enough. Going inside the courtroom.
Now we're talking.
You'll see that one side will actually darken up more than the other. So it'll actually, over time, it'll absorb whatever you put on the counter without a seal.
I know what you're saying is true. I'm just not seeing it here. But so that was an experiment that failed. However, all right. So she claims that it's your job to tell her, lady, this is how you maintain a granite countertop. Yes. Did you?
I believe I did. It was 3 years ago. Most everybody that we install, we've been doing it about 30 years now. Most people ask me, how do I take care of my countertop? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do to a countertop? And we pretty much go right down the list. Yeah. I have a book that we actually hand out to a lot of our contractors, and in here kind of says right in there, please let your customers know they got to seal it. They have to. You got to put a sealer on it. Actually,
okay, so it is your custom to tell people they need to put a sealer. Yes. But here, let me just ask you a question, because most people don't put the sealer, right?
Yes.
So, but most people don't care that it darkens because it's beautiful stone, and that's the natural process of stone. That is what occurs. Is it possible to lighten it by sanding it?
So no, because it wasn't sealed. And if you go to try to do it now, I think in the long run, it would actually cost her more money to remove it because of the cost of the chemicals.
Okay. Yeah. What did he do wrong that means you should be able to have a free counter? In his profession, did he fall short of the standards of the profession by assuming what you're saying to be true. And he says, I tell all my customers that they need to seal it. But let's just say for a moment he didn't tell you.
He didn't.
Wouldn't you have asked, like, how do I clean these? How do I maintain these? How do I? So it's, you know, it's nothing particularly if you put a sentence in the internet, you'd know the answer. So why is this something that he did wrong, even assuming, which he denies, that he never told you that you should seal granite?
I actually called and asked after mine was installed, do I need to seal it? And I was told, no, I'm fine, I'm good to go. Do I need any special, his wife, Cindy, the same company. I bought it a year before my mother. I referred my other aunt and uncle. They bought it, they never sealed theirs.
Did your wife tell her, yeah, you never have to seal that stuff?
I was told it was already sealed.
I really doubt it.
When you purchase hardwood floors, they tell you what products you can and can't use.
What if they don't? Don't you make it your business to find out?
I've never had that happen.
Well, you should have made it your business to find out. I don't think the man has to then pay you $3,000 3 years later. My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Thank you.
So it's the defendant who prevails here in the People's Court. The plaintiff has just come out of the courtroom. I got to believe you're a little upset.
Yes, I am. I mean, who would have thought you had to ask someone if you had to seal something that you never knew had to be sealed?
Well, he claims you knew at the beginning.
No, I didn't know.
No?
So, no.
Well, I guess you've learned a hard lesson.
I guess I did.
I'm sorry for you.
That's okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Our officer has some documents you must sign. Now, Mr. McMorrow, if you'll step out here. Does this kind of thing happen very often?
No, this is the first time, actually.
Really? In 30 years of
In
business, first time?
Yes.
I guess you're very lucky, but obviously you must make sure people know that they see it.
Yes.
And you're convinced you told her?
Yes.
Well, you prevailed. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good day for you in court. Thank you very much. All right. Harvey?
Here's the thing. The seller told the customer that it has to be sealed, so case closed.